Hi lovers, welcome to a new episode of your cosmic forecast for the week ahead. We are back. Last week was very just strange. There was a lot happening, a lot going on, and so I'm really excited to see what is coming through this week because I really do feel like the energy is different. And it is the 1st of December. We are heavily into a Sagittarius season. We have so many things coming up. So right now the energy is kind of like you're in the middle of something that's ending but also beginning at the exact same time. It's like everything is kind of layered right now. It's all happening, every single thing all at once. So you're kind of going through this, what feels like a soft death, and then you're combining that with like this quiet rebirth. So old chapters are dissolving as these new pathways are opening up for you at exactly the same time. It's kind of like you're becoming a new person, and at the exact moment that you do, some chapter is closing that is truly setting you free. So you might feel it in your body, in your decisions, or in the things you're suddenly no longer willing to tolerate. This truly is a week of what feels like clarity, honesty, and realignment, but just in a way where you're beginning to see kind of the remnants of the past, but also the beginning of what your future is going to look like, not only for next year, but also what's to come. So December isn't easing us in gently. It really is inviting you into the next version of yourself now, not later, not years down the track, right in this moment. So the theme of death and rebirth at once this week is carrying the imprint of both of those energies. So again, like I said, you're closing out the lessons for real this time, while also taking steps into something new and much more aligned for you. You know, it's the moment where the pattern becomes obvious, the lessons start landing, and you're simply just choosing not to repeat what you have outgrown. So it's kind of as if like spirit is trying to make it easier for you. And it's almost like let it be when it needs to be. Let the process of it be simple. Don't try to overcomplicate it. And this is the version of you who says, I'm not leaking energy anymore. I'm not shrinking. I'm not abandoning myself to keep connections alive. And even like the cards that were coming out for this week, this is perfectly kind of representing that, because we have the death and rebirth come out. We have the world, the Fool, 8 of Cups reverse, 6 of Swords, justice. So it's like it's evolution in real time that's beginning to occur. Now, with our astrology this week, okay, we've got a little bit of a cosmic weather forecast here, but we have the full moon in Gemini, which is coming up in the next 3 days, which is really exciting. Love our Gemini energy mixing with the Sagittarius energy that we are in. So this is a full moon that is about truth, clarity, communication, and also closing loops. So it really is revealing the why behind your patterns, especially in love, money, and self-worth. It is your mental detox. So it's a clearing of old stories and a moment of finally, I get it. And if you do feel like maybe you're feeling a bit frustrated, you're feeling like, oh, why is this all happening? What's going on? If you're feeling really ungrounded, this is a moment to kind of do that full moon ritual to kind of release that energy and surrender. So that's coming up in a couple days. Then we also have a Mercury trining in Jupiter. Mercury trining in Jupiter, which is going to be on the 6th of December, still this week. And this is your breakthrough energy. So Mercury rules the mind and communication. Jupiter rules growth, abundance, and perspective. And so when these are kind of in cahoots working together, everything is becoming easier. Your decisions, your money mindset, your conversations, your forward movement. It's like I said again, if the path itself is not complicated, don't put your 2 cents in and make it more complicated than it needs to be. Allow your journey to be one where, even though it might be difficult, you're not having as much resistance to it, because you're finally understanding that there are no bad experiences. There are just experiences, and everything is happening in a divine order that's always going to benefit you one way or another. So this is the energy of the moment I take one aligned step, everything else starts moving with me. And that is it. Everything that happens is always something good I can take out of it, because there's never a bad experience. Everything is happening for me. Maybe I need to slow it down sometimes. Maybe I need to listen to my intuition, but I am perfectly aligned in this moment and the next. Then we have the next day, I'm pretty sure on the 7th of December, we have Neptune direct in Pisces. So this is again your spiritual shift. So first you've got the breakthrough energy, then you've got the spiritual shift. So when Neptune stations direct, illusions start to fall away, okay? Old fantasies, old fears, old projections, they tend to lose their grip, right? They tend to lose like their power around you. So you stop repeating emotional loops. You stop choosing from your wounds. You stop choosing from a place of ego. You stop guessing people's intentions. And instead, what begins to happen is that your intuition becomes a lot clearer. Your heart becomes wiser, and your boundaries become softer and stronger at the same time. And this is kind of that rebirth piece. So, if any of you have been doing some type of detox or fast, this is like a perfect time for it, because you really are purging out those multiple layers within yourself and choosing a whole new reality for you. And I also feel like sometimes with fasting, it can also make that third eye a little bit clearer. Now, lessons of the week. This week is teaching you don't need chaos to grow. You may be used to it, it may be familiar, but you don't need it to grow. And I feel like Spirit is helping you, or not helping you, but just nudging you to keep an open mind. You know, it may be normal for you to think of certain what ifs about like, oh, you know, what if it doesn't work out, or what if this doesn't happen, or like, what if like all of this falls apart? But I feel like there is a bigger piece of you now that has been cultivated from all the work that you've done, that does feel safe where you are, that is excited for the future, that does believe everything's coming together in its own time, and that is ready for whatever it is. And so even if it's messy, even if the process is messy, even if your days can be messy sometimes, like, you're fine, you're good. You're probably doing better than you expect to be, but you're good. Another lesson coming up is that you do not need to overgive to be chosen. You really don't. And whether that is financially giving, whether that is giving more of your energy, more of your time, more of what you have, this is a time where we're kind of pulling back from those people-pleasing tendencies, especially if those tendencies that you have had have meant that you are on the back end, or you're on the back foot, or that your life doesn't get to progressively get better because you're always over giving what you don't have anymore. Okay? Another one we have coming up is that you don't need to rescue anyone. Spirit is asking you to rescue yourself first. They're asking you to rescue you. Put your mask on, take care of yourself first. Because once you do that, everyone else gets to benefit of the person that you are becoming. And if they don't get to benefit, then they're not meant to be a part of your life. Okay? You don't need to abandon your needs for connection. You don't need to repeat what you have already healed. The universe is asking you to step into the version of yourself that's actually ready to choose differently, ready to honor your energy, ready to take responsibility for what you want, and most importantly, ready to walk in the direction of life that you yourself have been calling in. Okay? Now, loving connections. I like this. I do love this. I definitely think some specific signs will be stepping into more of a romantic dating kind of energy. In love this week, it is about healthier connections, okay? Healthier connections, clearer communication, and I also feel like aligning with people who show up with reciprocation and not excuses. I will also say something that has been coming through that I've been channeling is that you may be surprised, right? You may be surprised what comes through for you in love. And I feel like specifically because there could be a particular connection that you either never considered or that you hope or you lost hope for. Something about that is beginning to bloom, where there's going to be more romance. There's going to be more of this kind of courtship energy where you're in a new phase of your life, where if your love life has been very stagnant or just not something that you want, this could be potentially a week where something starts to come around, something starts to kind of come to life, something starts to awaken. And for some of you, this might be an old person circling back, and for others of you, this might actually be a new person that's coming into your journey. And I do specifically think as well, if any of you have had like maybe your own like Christmas list of like, this is what I want for Christmas, Santa. Some of you have done it as a joke. Others of you might have just been like taking the piss or just like, yeah, let's just do this. Whatever it is that you have had on there that is directly related to love, let it be known that that energy of whatever that is beginning to come to life for you. And I do feel like the power dynamics are very different because you yourself are different. You're not bending, you're not shrinking, and you're not pouring from deletion or depletion anymore. Okay? Things are beginning to meet you where you are, or else they don't meet you at all. This is the end of chasing energy, and it is the beginning of receiving from alignment. And so, yeah, you yourself have changed, and so has your path. It's started to shift, it's started to change, it's started to align differently, feel differently, manifest differently, which is a very positive thing for what you've done for yourself, for how far you've come. Now, when we get into money and self-worth, so Mercury and Jupiter is also shifting the way that Mercury and Jupiter is also shifting the way that you see money and responsibilities. This week is where you might feel pulled to clean up finances, pay off bills, organize your accounts, or kind of change how you relate to your income, and not from a place of fear, but from a place of what feels like empowerment. And something that has been coming up is that maybe the stagnancy that you've had in certain areas of your life, and for some of you this could be financial, a lot of those stories or narratives are actually directly influenced by maybe family or specific connections, romance, whatever it is. Something about it feels like it's directly related from something that you've actually adopted into your life that was never actually started within you. It was started from outside of yourself, and you've just taken this on. And so potentially the environments that you have allowed yourself to be a part of are the exact energy drinks, are the exact energy leaks that is now time to close them up. So the things that have been leaking out of your energy may be directly related to the environments that you have been a part of, whether that's with family, friends, work, yada, yada, yada. It's going to be different for everyone. Okay. So this is where we're moving from empowerment, not fear. This is a mature self-worth. This is accountability without shame. And it's also clarity without replacing avoidance. Your inner world is matching your outer goals. And some of you are meant to live a specific lifestyle, right? Spirit is now giving you the kind of step up to be able to do so. And in order to step that way, there might be something that you're actually closing. And it's something that you probably need to do. It feels like it's something that you're moving away from in order to start living for you. So as we move through this first week of December, start where you are. Okay, take the step that you've been avoiding, tell the truth you've been holding, release the version of you that had to survive everything. Okay, you're not in survival anymore. That chapter, that cycle is closed. You're not going to be a part of that pattern or that lesson anymore because you've learned it. This reality that you are now in is different. Stop trying to align it with what you know is familiar but doesn't actually serve you, because that's not who you are anymore. This week is a threshold and you're crossing it. with clarity, with softness, and with power. So big week coming up. We also have Venus in Sagittarius as well, which is definitely aligning with all of that love kind of energy, something kind of starting to move, starting to come through. So trust in what your intuition is telling you. Even if you feel crazy, trust in it and then let it be. I feel like the biggest thing with letting go that sometimes we can struggle with is like, how do we actually do that? But when I look at letting go, it's more so just a state of acknowledgement, of acceptance, just kind of accepting this is where things are right now, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that it's wrong or that it's right. It just means this is where the current energies are. This is what I believe, and so I need to let this go in order for it to come in. So if that has been your energy, you've been maybe wishing or hoping or praying for a certain connection or a certain direction to open up, a certain door to come your way, let this be your moment where you're no longer wishing or praying for it. You know within your heart what is true for you and what is not. And that if that is the case, it's not about spirit giving you anything new. You already have it. It's already yours. It already has your name on it. And it's about you continuing to step into the versions of yourself that are waiting there for you, that have all of those things. So take the step, be brave this week, weather the storms, because I do really think this is going to be a great ending to what has been a huge year. 2026 is going to be the start of your dreams coming true because you've done all of the healing that you needed to do. You've learned all of the lessons that you needed to learn in order to become the version of yourself that has been dreaming and envisioning this life for you or her or him your whole life. This is where it begins. This is where it gets to happen. You will be living the life that you once prayed for. So big shifts are happening right now. Everything that you want is right here.